You know, if you take everything I've accomplished in my entire life and condense it down into one day, it looks decent.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of The Decent Show. We have a special one for you here today because Reagan and I are in person on the same microphone at a rich person's house. So everything is going great. And we have an exciting episode. This is an official Decent Show episode because we're going to be reviewing Good Boys and we're going to talk about some other things as well. So, as always, it's Ryan here with Reagan. And Reagan, any just initial thoughts right out of the gate?
Yeah, I was just thinking like how many different places we've done this show.
It's a traveling show.
We've done it and that's the thing is we want to do it on video one day. And I'm like, what is the set going to be? Because we're just going to like always be in a different place,
Yep.
you know? Because we've done it in Tulsa. We've done it in Canyon, I think. Or
I think
no.
so. And
then we've done it at my house. We've done it in this house. We did it in Nick's house. We did it in...
Oh, yeah, Nick's house, yeah.
we did it all over the place, yeah. And then we know you technically did it in Victor's house, too.
Victor's house, yeah. So we've been everywhere with this podcast. Where were you whenever I was at Victor's house?
I was in the hotel in Colorado.
So we've done there too.
Colorado, yeah.
Colorado. So this show has been everywhere. It's going to keep going everywhere. And whenever we do add video, I mean, really the main thing is that we're in person because
it doesn't make any sense other ways.
Yeah, we'll make a set because if we did a video right now, I mean, we're on a pretty nice couch. We could have the camera just over there. And we could be like, yeah, you know.
I want to get like a banner or something that just has the show's logo.
Yeah,
in the
we could do
background.
that.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Let's go down to Kiko's.
Anyway,
FedEx office now, but
I watched a lot of like football stuff recently. Watching the Texans literally look like the worst team I've ever seen in my entire life.
okay.
They lost their running back for the rest of the season.
The Texans did?
Yeah.
Lamar Miller or whatever?
Yep, tore his ACL. In like the second play of the game.
In a preseason game?
Yep. So.
Because, wait, what's today? Sunday?
Yeah.
Week 1's not today, right?
No.
College football week 1 was yesterday, though.
Technically, yeah. I mean, they have
it's always the tune-up game.
Yeah, they have like a prime time game, and then next week will be like all the teams play Saturday, and then the week after that, then the NFL will start.
Oh wow!
So we still have a ways to
the
go.
only teams that have played are Miami and Florida.
Yep,
that was the only game.
that's the only
Who
game.
won?
Florida won barely. It was almost an upset. Which
yeah,
I don't even know if
Florida's
you can
ranked
count that as an
Miami's
upset.
not.
Like it's one's ranked, but the other's not. But they're both like they haven't won. Like so, like how is that? I get that's an upset, but like, what do these preseason rankings even mean? You know?
Yeah, it's true.
Like, how do you judge that?
And those two teams have had such a rivalry. Like, you can almost just forget about the talent that either team has. They're just going to play their hardest, and whoever basically plays harder wins. Just because those teams pretty much always give it their best. Because I mean, back when like UT and A&M played each other,
it was always competitive.
Always.
Yeah.
Even when UT would be a good team and A&M sucked. Like that was back in those days, and A&M would always give us a fight.
I mean, Tech was terrible last year, and they almost beat Oklahoma. And Oklahoma had the number 1 draft pick. So
yeah, and now what's his face is going to Oklahoma. The guy from Jalen Hurts from Alabama is going to Oklahoma. He transferred.
Yep.
And that's because the guy with the name that I can't pronounce is taking over Takalukala or whatever.
Taolua or whatever.
He's taking over the starting position for Alabama.
Yeah.
So Hurts was like, screw it.
Shout out to that line in Hobbs and Shaw where he's like, we're doing the horizontal hula. That was great, right?
Yeah, that's a good line. That's a good line.
Anyway, that got me like super pumped to watch football stuff, but there wasn't really a ton of football stuff left, so I started watching Hard Knocks. That was entertaining as hell.
On who, though?
Huh?
On who?
It was on the Raiders.
Why was it entertaining as hell?
It's just entertaining because it's just like all these people like trying to make it basically, and they're just like working out super hard, and there's like a lot of cussing, and there's always fights that break out, and
really,
yeah, there's always like fights in practices and stuff, and like the first episode is always the team joint practice where two teams practice with each other, and it's almost always a fight. Like it's almost always a fight
between the two teams.
Yeah, and it's never not a fight basically. Like it'd be weird if it wasn't. But yeah, that was entertaining. Then I watched Ballers. Watched a couple of episodes of season 2. I finished season 1 and I never came back to it, and I realized I was watching last night. I was like, man, this show's so good. Like I could binge the shit out of this show because it's like a better version of Entourage, honestly.
Better? I don't know about better.
I don't know.
But it's very similar.
The thing about Entourage is it doesn't age well because it's very of the moment and of the time. So it's like talking about all this stuff of like, you know, like, for instance, they're always comparing Aquaman to, like, the fake Aquaman, but there's now a real Aquaman, and they're always comparing it to Spider-Man, which was the biggest opening ever, which has been, like, forever ago. And it just, the way they shoot it is, like, at the beginning, at least, isn't, like, it's weird. It doesn't look like HBO quality. It looks like Curb Your Enthusiasm, where it's like, why isn't this better?
Well, it probably just the year that they started the show, and then they just kept doing it, and it kept the quality of cameras and stuff probably got better at that time. But I get what you're saying too, because the other thing that throws me off is Turtle is always dressed like Eminem in the early 2000s.
Yeah,
just
because he's only 16 when the show starts.
Who?
Turtle.
He's 16?
Yeah, they made him never shave his face, and then they like, did all this stuff to make him look older.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a good actor.
Yeah,
Fooled me.
What's crazy is all those people seem like decent actors, and I've never seen them in anything else.
Yeah.
You know? Like even just a TV show or something. 'Cause I'm not saying they should be like big Hollywood stars, but they all like look decent enough, and they all have pretty decent acting jobs.
Jeremy Piven's the only one.
That's true, but he's the best character.
Yeah, Ari. Yeah. But yeah, he's wearing those baggy clothes with the jumpsuits and all that. And
it's hilarious.
Stuff, it is funny, yeah. And so, I mean, I lived through that time, so I get what you're saying, but at the same time, I'm like, oh yeah, like Spider-Man was big back then, and Aquaman wasn't technically in existence in terms of movies. Like, I know the character existed, but
regardless of like whatever, like I just Ballers is basically like 75% lifestyle porn, and then it's like 25% plot and story that they give me. That's all it is. Like I just love how they go to shots of like all these parties and like girls' tits everywhere, and just like drugs and alcohol and like people getting shot and all this like stupid stuff, and then they'll go to The Rock for like, and they'll be like, yeah, I really need to sign him, and then it'll go back to that. Like that's their like little second of plot, and then they'll go back to everybody just partying and dancing, and like it's just so much of the episode, but it's still entertaining. It's like so entertaining though, because I don't know, they deal with some like really cool stuff. Like he has like a pain addiction, and he actually used to be a football player instead of, I guess, just playing in college, which is what The Rock actually did. And
he played in the Canadian Football League.
That's true.
In real life,
and they they always start the episodes with right above it, so it's off to a good start.
I think it's funny that they still start the show with that intro,
like
but it
10
works.
Years old.
I know, but it still works, I guess. Sorry, I'm just looking through my notes right now, just because I know there's a lot of stuff in here. I feel like I had taken some sports notes, and I finally found them. But what else you been doing besides the Ballers? Is there more football stuff?
No. I guess I'll lean into this. I don't want to because this is not really going to be a sports episode, but Andrew Luck retired yesterday. And that was like one of the weirdest things.
Did the Colts play yesterday?
Yeah. So
they played, and just halfway through the game, it's a preseason game, he was like, yo, I'm walking off the field.
No, he didn't play. He wasn't. He had an ankle and calf injury, and he was always questionable for week 1. Mm-hmm. So they were like, how long are they going to go without him? When's he going to start playing? Are we going to see him in the preseason? All these questions. No one was like, is he going to retire?
Well, of course. But I just saw the highlights on Twitter of him walking off the field and people booing him, and I was like, what? Yeah, well, because no one thought he was going to retire, and then it sort of slipped out. He wanted to do it today, I guess. Yeah. And the day of the game, it sort of slipped out, and it was all over Twitter and everybody. So everyone in the stadium found out, and everybody just started taking his jerseys off and crying and stuff, and was like really upset. And then he just basically left. Yeah. They announced it and all that. And it's like, I don't know, it's just really weird. Like, what's your take on it? It's super weird, but I don't really have too much of an interesting take, just because, I mean, I feel like he's been injured the last 2 years. And I think his quote was he's like, I keep getting injured, I keep rehabbing, and I keep coming back and getting injured, and it's just over and over again, and I feel like I can't get out of rehab. And he's like, I'm sick of it. Mm-hmm. It's taken my love for the game out. He's like, he can't love the game anymore because he's constantly working just to be able to play it. Yeah. And then he doesn't even get to play. So I get it. Now, granted, it is surprising because he's only 29.
It's surprising because of that. It's surprising because I think the main people are like, you got to be like Brady, you got to be like Favre, you got to be like Manning, you got to be like...
He had the talent.
Yeah, you have all the talent, but they also play through all these injuries, and they play forever. They play for 10 to 15 seasons to 20 seasons,
But also, I mean, I saw some highlights where they were showing what a nice guy he was, that whenever he'd get hit, he'd tell the guy that hit him, hey man, good hit, good hit, big boy, and all that stuff. And they said he was the nicest player ever. He was taking some hits.
Yeah, he was.
And I don't know about Favre. I didn't watch Favre play enough because I was young. I watched him play, but I wasn't grasping what was happening. But I just feel like Manning, Brady, those guys don't really get hit.
No, they don't.
And if they are going to get hit, they're so good at avoiding it.
Yeah, I understand.
And he's that young football player mentality. He's just man, I'm going to throw the ball, I'm going to run it, I'm just going to make it whatever happen. And that caused him to get hit a lot. I mean, I saw that highlight reel, And even though he's telling the guy good hit, there were some nasty hits in there.
Yeah, it's definitely a huge contrast. It's just that those other guys played for so long, I guess. Like that's what everyone expects now, is people to play forever, especially because the league is getting softer.
Yeah.
Speaking of your point on Favre, like he played in such a there's no helmet to helmet, like there's none
Rules.
of that.
Yeah.
There's none of the you can't clip a quarterback below the knees, so that was there as well. Like all that sort of stuff was like it made the game like way rougher.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I just think it's unfortunate that everybody's not everyone, but I guess the fans in that building were like so pissed off at him for retiring because it's so abrupt. I think if it wasn't so abrupt, but I think like I don't know how you do that. Do you just wait until the beginning of the season?
No, I think. I mean, to me, he did it before the season started.
Yeah.
Like if he knew that he isn't going to get healthy again and he doesn't have the will to play, I mean, why waste everyone's time and possibly hurt himself again? Now he's given the team at least, I guess, a chance to move on. Now, granted, the team's probably like, "Yo, what? Like, we don't have a quarterback now."
Team's gonna suck. Team's gonna be awful.
Yeah, they're gonna be terrible. But would they really be that much better with him there? Like they would be, but would they be good enough to do anything of relevance
With him there?
Yeah, like I'm saying, they would be better with him there. But would it really matter in the long run in terms of playoffs?
You never know in the NFL. You never really know because
He's that good.
He's really good, and they made it to the second round last year. And you got to assume the Patriots are falling off at some point. You got to assume maybe that'll happen. No team's ever gone to, or only one other team has gone to 4 straight Super Bowls, so it's probably not going to happen this year. The Chiefs got worse because they lost a couple defensive players. They lost, obviously, Hall.
Yep.
Maybe Hill. That's still up in the air. I'm not sure.
I thought that who's the running back?
The running back is Hall.
I thought it was Hill.
Damn it. What is it? It's Tyreek Hill.
Tyreek Hill. And I think he went to like the Browns or something, didn't he? Because he's on like a big suspension and nobody wanted him.
Well, but the other guy, he also like beat his wife or something, right?
They both beat their wives?
Basically, yeah.
Okay.
And or maybe it was child abuse, but
Great
he
guys.
got cleared of it. But I still think that might come back to haunt him. Either way, they've lost a lot of talent. Other in the AFC, the Chargers are still probably going to be good. But again, that's another guy where like Phillip Rivers could just fall off the face of a cliff. The Steelers got worse. I mean,
Steelers got worse.
Yeah, they lost Antonio Brown.
That's right.
And Ben Roethlisberger got another year older.
And Lily, of course. You don't think that's an addition by subtraction, though?
No.
In terms of losing Brown?
He's too good. He's too good for that.
But the
to be an
Raiders
addition.
can't even get him to practice.
I understand, but I mean, you'd rather have him than not have him, I guess, in terms of skill.
Okay.
I think his skill outweighs his stupidity, at least for right now. Maybe not, maybe it'll be like a great move later on, but like, you still want him out there just for so the defense is like, preoccupied with him and they can free up the other receivers.
You're right. Yeah.
In my mind. So like,
I'm trying to find an old tweet about Brown too,
because they got to the AFC Championship game and lost to the Patriots, and then they lost this past year to the Chiefs.
Okay.
And they play against the Texans, the Jaguars, and the Titans. So like they have a good shot again in the playoffs. Not anymore. See, that's another thing is I think there's no excuses now for the Texans not to make the playoffs.
You would think. But what's our backup running back situation?
I don't know. That's a good point. I'm not 100% sure.
Well, I'm trying to find this tweet on Antonio Brown just because it was really funny. It was like X amount of guys in the NFL have working helmets or something, and Antonio Brown can't seem to find one.
It's so stupid, dude. I don't understand that. Like, what? Get over the stupid helmet thing.
I don't get what's the problem with the helmet.
He just really likes his helmet, and it's no longer cleared to be safe, I guess, or to be cleared in the NFL. So he wants to keep that helmet and whatever.
Ay. Well, I had wanted to ask you about Carmelo. We might just split this into 2 episodes, honestly, because we can just do like 2 short episodes, just because I do have a few sports things to talk about, because it was Kobe Bryant Day recently, and his birthday, I guess, or is that the same day?
Kobe Bryant's birthday is 8/23, and then 8/24 is
his numbers.
Is Mamba Day.
Yeah, okay, cool. So he gets 2 birthdays, basically.
Yeah. You see his Mamba challenge?
Which is, I did not see it.
It's like a YouTube video. It's like a minute long or so, and it's animated. It looks like it's out of Dragon Ball Z. It's pretty cool.
Okay.
And it's of Kyrie Irving, like it's all animated. It's of Kyrie Irving playing against Antetokounmpo.
Okay.
and they're like playing one-on-one or whatever, and they're playing in like a super stylized version of basketball, so like he's turning invisible because he's moving so fast and like driving to the hole.
Okay.
And then like a snake comes out of the corner and it like turns into Kobe basically, and he's like, he like has in each hand, he's like, Kyrie, like you've proven your worth, but can you get like, or can you achieve greatness? And it's the MVP trophy, and then it's like, and Giannis, you've proven that you're the best, but can you be a champion? It's like an NBA final. So he's basically like, get the MVP, win the championship.
Yeah,
I thought it was pretty sick.
Yeah, no, it is, and I guess he's been motivating and friends with both of those guys now.
He had a similar video last year.
He what?
He had a similar video last year.
Yeah, because he challenged. I didn't see the video, but I saw that he challenged Giannis to win the MVP, and he did that. He didn't win the ring, so that's the next thing. And then Kyrie's won a ring, but he still hasn't, to me, proven that he can be the most valuable or leader on a team. I mean, he did that kind of with the Celtics, but that got really messy for some reason, you know, or we kind of know the reasoning, but it's still, to me, not like picture perfect clear. But basically, I'm hoping that he has a fresh start with the Nets. I like Eastern Conference teams because they don't really affect the Rockets. Mm-hmm. So, like, I'm really looking forward to the Nets season and the season after that when they get KD back.
Yeah.
And then I think Boogie should retire. Same thing with Andrew Luck. Like, I think it's to the point where, of course, Derrick Rose came back instead of Sean Livingston, but still, I don't know. I feel like if Boogie has another injury after this, like if he plans on coming back from this ACL tear and he injures something else, like, I don't know, man. I just give up. But
what do you think about the Lakers getting Dwight Howard?
Hilarious. Dude, I swear, all these tweets that I liked that are relating to the stuff we're talking about, they're not here, and it's
your
kind of
phone's dropping the ball recently.
All the time.
In the clutch time.
Love it. Because they showed a tweet from Dwight Howard back in like 2013 when he left the Lakers, and it was like, "Hey LA, like hopefully I get the chance to make it up to you. Thanks." And now he's going back. So like that was kind of, here it is. It says right here, I hope I get the chance to, it's April 29, 2013. 6 years later, he's getting a second chance. So that was interesting.
Do you think it'll make a difference? Do you think he'll make a difference?
They pretty much poop on him every time on ESPN, and or especially on the Jump. I didn't watch the whole video, but the title told me everything I needed to know because I've already heard Windhorst like rant about this before. But basically, every year or every time Dwight gets on a new team, which is almost the same now because it seems like he's on a new team every year, he's always like, "Yep, I've got it figured out now." It's like, you've done this 8 times now. You're pretty much like out of your prime. Like, what have you figured out? Like, if you couldn't figure it out in your prime when you were like really good and like very relevant, like, what have you figured out now?
We had this argument the other night.
Who, Jordan?
Maybe not the argument, but to me, like, when a guy goes from team to team to team to team to team, like, it really hurts his legacy. Mm-hmm. Even if he's playing to the same level, I feel like if he had just stayed with, I don't know, the Rockets or I guess the Bobcats, like, if he had just stayed and not gone to 10 different teams in his career and just played it out, even though he wouldn't have been in the limelight as much, it would have looked better than just hopping all around. Because, like, no one wants him. Like, he's signed to this contract that's not even guaranteed.
Yeah. Well, I think the other thing is it seems like it's coming down to his work ethic. And
which is stupid.
Because he's in great shape, so I guess he has no problem going to the gym or he's genetically gifted or both. But it sounds like he's just never worked on his game. Yeah. It sounds like he's never taken the steps to get better at all the things he needs to get better at in terms of, not that he needs to be a point guard, but I mean, Shaq could dribble, and Shaq had some post moves. To me, Dwight's pretty weak in the post. He can't really dribble. He's not a great passer. He apparently, according to Steve Nash, when he was on the Lakers the first time, refused to do the pick and roll, which when you're a big man that can't do any of the stuff that I just said, you need to do the pick and roll. So if he's not willing to do those things and just get better touch all around the court. I mean, the other thing, too, is, like, he needs to be able to hit. I think he's finally shooting a little bit now, which is really ugly, but he's, like, making some of them now. I guess he's finally added that to his game. But, yeah, if he can't make an open mid-ranger,
what's the point?
What is the point? Yeah, and you've been playing basketball.
Gone in January.
Really? Yeah. I could see it. It just depends, because if he's willing to do the pick and roll, he'll be fine. That's really what it comes down to, because the Lakers have enough talent to where he's just got to stop some guys from scoring and make a few dunks. He could be, what Tyson Chandler's been for the last, 5 years, 10 years. Mm-hmm. He could just be a solid guy that's replacing whoever, Boogie in this instance, or your backup center. Because I guess he would start, but at the same time, I don't know if you really want to start Davis and Howard. I'd just have Howard coming off the bench. I don't think Davis likes playing center, but he has better stats at center.
I don't know. I was just thinking, like, you got Rondo and you got LeBron, and you don't really have any, like, stability in the coaching area, and you got...
They have, like, 10 assistant coaches now. They have Frank Vogel, head coach, Jason Kidd and Tyronn Lue, assistant coaches. So he's got 3 head coaches, basically. Yeah. And then you got LeBron, so you have 4 now.
Yeah, and then you got... I don't know how Anthony Davis is. He kind of seems a little sketchy, honestly, just the way he wanted to leave New Orleans so bad, and he just, like, was, he was... The whole thing with him, like, not in the highlight reel and all that when he left, like, it just seemed like kind of a rough... Like, you got a lot of sketchiness around there, and then Dwight isn't the most stable anyway, and... Like, I feel like if you're going to have that big of a problem with Kobe, you're going to probably have a pretty big problem with LeBron. Because LeBron's pretty motivated as well. It's like...
Davis is going to have a problem with him?
No, Dwight Howard. Yeah, because, like, Kobe wanted to get back to the championship. He wanted to get to the finals again, basically. Like, he was still pushing for that. And LeBron's basically in the same place he is in his career. Only he's even more adamant about it because he's going to all these different teams and he's making all these different moves and he's demanding all these different things. So, he needs it, basically.
Yeah.
And Dwight's not going to like that. And I don't feel like there's going to be anyone to sort of calm that tension.
But if anybody, like...
And he's not going to deliver. So
if anybody needs redemption in a ring, though, it's Dwight.
Yeah.
Hopefully, LeBron can buckle him down. And of course, I don't want the Lakers...
Hopefully not.
Hopefully not, sorry, yeah. Sorry, if you're a Lakers fan, excuse me, hopefully they somehow work it out and Dwight plays decent. I mean, he really, like, with Davis there and Kuzma and the team that they have... You really only need Dwight to put in like 20 minutes a game, max. It's not like he has to be a pivotal role. Because, Boogie wasn't going to be a pivotal role with just the way he's been injured. It's not like Boogie was going to be playing a ton of minutes, so Dwight doesn't really need to. They just need somebody. And the other thing, to the point of that, to the point of Dwight, the Lakers, LeBron... all that. Like, what are your thoughts on Carmelo? I had an argument with a guy the other day about Carmelo, and I seen some tweets about, like, if LeBron's really friends with Carmelo, like, why the hell are they on board with taking Dwight, but, like, nobody wants to have Carmelo?
Because no one wants Carmelo. He doesn't have any value.
Dwight does?
Yeah, he's a big body.
I guess.
He can get... They want him for is just defensive presence and rebounding is apparently what they've said. And he'll give you that. He's going to be hard to score. He's going to clog up the paint on defense.
Okay.
And he's going to get the boards. And he's going to be just another big body who can get thrown in there. Because a banged-up Boogie Cousins and a Dwight Howard right now are basically the same. I mean, they're not drastically different. So they're just trying to fill that role. Whereas Carmelo, he doesn't play the post. He's a wing or whatever. And I feel like every time we hear about him, he's always a ball hog. And he's washed up, too. Like, he's washed up. It's over. Like, age has caught up to him. It's over. Like, he can't play anymore.
Yeah.
And he's been out of the game for a whole year.
He has, but, I know it's not the same, but I'm tired of seeing highlights of him tearing people up at Lifetime. And, NBA players, that he's playing pickup games with NBA players, and he's torching them.
Yeah.
Now, I know it's pickup. The defense is not the same. It's all one-on-one, whatever. But still, and then the tweet that I was looking for... Ball is Life tweeted, there's a guy being interviewed, I don't know who this guy is, but it says, LeBron is walking around like he's the face and voice of the players, and he's letting his banana boat brother hang out there in the wings, and they go sign Jared Dudley. If anybody thinks Dudley can hold Carmelo's jockstrap, I'll slap him. And that was a quote by Royce White. What are your thoughts on that? To me, that's a better point. I get what you're saying about the Dwight stuff, but, they have Jared Dudley. Is Jared Dudley really better than Carmelo? I mean, could they not at least do the same things? Is Jared Dudley going to be a potential Hall of Famer? Because Carmelo is. I'm not saying Carmelo's guaranteed, but he's at least talked about it.
But everybody gets in the NBA Hall of Fame.
Not Jared Dudley.
Everyone who
sells jerseys.
Yeah, everyone who sells jerseys gets in there. So, but
it just makes to me. And then Patrick Beverly quoted the tweet, and he said nothing wrong. #no cap, which is what cool kids are saying for, I guess, no bullshit or whatever.
Whoa!
No cap.
What a revolutionary phrase.
Yeah, no cap on God.
I don't know. It's just I don't know what LeBron's thinking because I don't think he's thinking this. But I would be like, do we really want another dramatic ball hog?
But
problem in the locker room.
they're supposed to be friends. You would think he'd be like, hey, Carmelo, you know how you play in the Olympics? Like, do that. Be unselfish and shoot the lights out. You would think.
You would think, but I'm not convinced Carmelo can play at all. I'm just not, because no one wanted him, and he's out for a whole year. You know, so he's guaranteed to be in worse shape. Like, he's guaranteed. There's no way he's not.
Yeah.
He's not in game shape, and maybe his shot's still wet and all that other stuff. But if he's not in good shape, he can't get up the court and he can't create space for himself. Like, he's just going to be another person that's there. I guess. Yeah, LeBron should probably pick him up, but like, how much money is he wanting?
Well, technically he's making $0 right now, so I feel like he would take anything, right?
Anything. There's another guy who needs a ring.
Yeah, Carmelo definitely needs one.
But he won't get it.
No, probably not.
Is he playing this season? Do you think he's playing this season?
Who?
Carmelo.
No.
Exactly.
If he hasn't been signed already, then no. But to me, you would think that he would change his ways based on the fact that he hasn't been playing, and you would think that another team would need him or talk to him, just something. Like, I don't know. A guy that can score like that, to me, always has value. You just have to be able... He has to be willing to be coached and score the way that the team needs him to score.
See, I don't think he is, and I don't think they have the coaching to get there. So they don't have either portion. Like, they're not going to meet in the middle because neither side is moving.
Yeah, because they showed a lot in his Lifetime footage. I mean, like, they're just showing a lot of him posting guys up and just hitting these turnaround jump shots. And, like, that's just not the NBA anymore.
No.
I mean, granted, yeah, you might put LeBron on the post. Like, if there's a mismatch, they'll post somebody up. And, you know, Carmelo can post somebody
Your
up.
back is rarely to the basket in the NBA.
Exactly. It's very rare. But at the same time, like, you know who I think could use him? I think a team like Portland could use him. You know, because besides, they need somebody to score the ball besides Dame and CJ.
Yeah.
And to me, he would be a good fit for them. And teams like that, teams that have like one or two good guys, but they just need somebody else to kind of take the pressure off them, somebody that can score when those guys are resting or one of them's resting, and somebody that can also potentially close a game. Like, if the game is super slowed down and you need a back to the basket bucket, you could give it to Carmelo.
See, I think that Carmelo can still score. I just don't think he can still demand respect or like create space on the floor, because I don't think he's fast enough or in good enough shape, or I feel like whoever's defending him. I know that defense in the NBA is weak, but like whoever's defending him is like, you're not getting by me because I'm faster than you.
I still go with the Jared Dudley example. Who is Jared Dudley getting by?
No one, but
exactly.
He's not a problem either.
I guess. I mean, he is a good locker room guy, but I don't know. It's very interesting, but we'll get off Carmelo.
Does Jared Dudley have other accolades outside of scoring?
Jared Dudley barely even scores.
So is he good at other things? Well, I don't know why they're taking him then. They shouldn't take either. How about that?
I mean, Jared Dudley is like basically the most bench role player in the history. I mean, he can technically do a little bit of everything because he's an NBA player, but he's not. They're not like, man, thank God we got Jared. Now we're a great 3-point shooting team, or now we're a great defensive team, or man, we got endless ball handling. Like, nobody's saying that because Jared Dudley's on the team.
I wonder if Carmelo's just asking for too much money.
Maybe. I feel like he's not asking for any money. I think he's just asking to play because he's not ready to retire. Which to me says something, but oh well.
Who do you think the NBA equivalent is of Andrew Luck? Like, who, if they retired tomorrow, who would be the equivalent of them?
Oh, it would have been Derrick Rose or Boogie for me. I can't think of anybody else that's been injured as much in recent memory.
I don't know.
What
I was
about
trying
you?
to think about that. I don't know. Because I wanted to say Kyrie for a minute. Like, it'd be really ridiculous if he retired, but at the same time, he's had so many injuries that I could believe it. But he's also won a championship, so he's kind of proven himself.
Yeah.
And he's also been in the MVP hunt, I guess.
Yeah. Real quick, back to Andrew Luck, because I found these two tweets here. So it says, despite the fact they could have recouped $24.8 million from their former quarterback, the Colts have already reached a financial settlement with Andrew Luck in which they will not take back any of the money they are owed. So I guess it says they're giving him $24 million, basically.
Huh.
Like, they could take it back, but they're like, nah, man, you keep it.
That's good.
Then the very next tweet, Andrew Luck is giving up $58.1 million in future money by retiring. So it's like he's getting 24 mil, but there's like 58 on the table.
Here's the thing. Having just watched Ballers, I feel like all this money would really be helpful But like the dude's married, and he's kind of a white goober. Like he's not like Antonio Brown. Like he's not living that lifestyle where he's going to Miami all the time and doing all these cars and drinks and boats and all these vacations and all that stuff. So like he's got like hundreds of millions of dollars, I bet. And he's got a lot of sponsors.
Hopefully he invested smartly.
Yeah, I feel like he had a lot of sponsor spots as well. So I feel like he's fine money wise. And I feel like the Colts not wanting that money back and all that stuff, I think everyone knows, including him, that like he really wants to play. He just can't. Like he really just can't do it. Like I feel like if there was any way he could play, he would do it.
Yeah.
And I feel like the Colts are doing a nice move there by
letting him keep some.
Letting him keep that money, because I think they realized that like, yeah, this dude really wanted to play. It's not like he wanted to screw you all over or anything. Yeah, and I feel like the fans kind of helped Luck get that money too, because I feel like just the negative reception that the Colts like have now, I think they're trying to get rid of that basically. So like, if they booed the other day, I don't know if they would necessarily let him keep all that money.
Probably not. Maybe not. Move. I think either way. I mean, if they praised him and applauded him, they would give him the money for that reason. They're like, yeah, man, our fans loved him. We loved him. It's so sad to see him go. Here's the money. And then they booed him, and they're like, well, we feel bad about them booing him. Here's the money. I feel like either way, he gets the money.
Is he a bust?
No,
I don't think so.
Because he was a great player the whole time he was growing up. He was a great player pretty much the whole time in the NFL. I mean, he just got hit a lot, and he just couldn't recover. I mean, every hit I watched him take, I mean, he's landing on his shoulder.
Yeah.
And, like, I feel like I have right shoulder problems, and I'm not a professional athlete. All I've done is work out and bowl. And because of those two things, like, my right shoulder, I'll probably have to have surgery on it someday.
Yeah.
Like, maybe not super soon, but, like, I can just feel it. Like, I can constantly feel my right shoulder, and my left is just like anything else. You say, yeah, it's good. Like, you don't feel it. You don't think about it. But, yeah, a lot of fellow athletes reached out and supported Luck. A lot of guys were like, yo, it's disgusting that they would boo him and not respect the man.
Yeah, it's stupid.
We support you. And even like guys like Donovan Mitchell, a basketball player. And, Des Bryant had a tweet as well. But, yeah, I think it's crazy that he's gone. But at the same time, I think the main reason why I even liked him is just the fact that he's technically from Houston, but Stafford specifically. But,
yeah,
other than that, I'm not a huge fan of the Colts or him because we have to play them all the time.
Yeah, and they went right from Manning to Luck. It's like, can we get a break?
Yeah, right. Oh, man. I can't find any of these tweets.
Dynamite.
Yeah, because there was like an NBA what if. Like, it was these two different teams, and there was like endless comments on which team would win, and I was trying to pull up what those teams were, and I can't find it. Anything else on sports, I guess?
I don't have anything, honestly. Yeah. I don't know. We're in that weird space where football hasn't really started yet, and
baseball's still going.
And I don't know. I just don't give a shit about basketball like right now. Like, it's just too hard.
Team USA lost, I guess, against Australia the other day. So weren't we watching them play Australia at your house?
Yeah.
Did they end up losing that game, or did they play them again?
I guess.
Okay. So apparently they had won 78 straight. And that was their first loss since like 06.
I believe it. They've got no one out there. I mean, they don't have the teams they usually have, and it really doesn't matter because it's not the Olympics. Yeah. It doesn't matter.
I don't know.
It's not. It'd be nice to win, but I guess everybody's just sort of like, why would I play? Why would I hoop some more in the summer and be like tired for the season?
Yeah.
When it's not even for a medal or anything.
That's true, but I don't know. Country pride, and then I guess it's also good because the Celtics are basically, as long as everyone stays healthy, and I hope they do, the Celtics are getting like really good like chemistry building right now with Kemba, Tatum, and Brown all playing USA together. I feel like that behooves the Celtics. It allows them to basically get free experience playing high-level basketball. Granted, I know the competition isn't as good as the NBA, but it's as close as they're going to get right now. So I think that behooves the Celtics for that to be happening. And then back to football, because I did realize that part of my all-day fun yesterday was recording football games. And I figured out why we're recording little kids' football games. And that's because it's for the KD Football League. It's like literally KYF, KD Youth Football, which is basically the most, as far as I know, I mean, I think maybe there's a lot of leagues in Houston that probably have super competitive youth leagues. But yeah, Katy youth football is like super competitive football. I remember when I played football as a kid, our first week was against like a Katy team, and like we showed up and there was an ambulance on the field.
Wow.
Like, and I was in 4th grade. Like, so kids are getting lit up. And I showed up to the games, and just endless tents, endless parents. Every team had 5 coaches and a set of cheerleaders. I'm not even exaggerating. I was like, dude, what is this? I was like, these are kids. Like, some of these kids, they're probably 4th grade. Like, it was anywhere from 4th to 6th grade. Some tiny-ass kids out there. Now, granted, you had a few big ones, obviously. But, like, so many little kids. And none of them, it looked like none of them wanted to play. Like, it's all the parents and coaches that are like, yeah, get some, hit somebody. Like, literally the coach on the other team, I was like, the whole field away from this guy. And I could literally hear him screaming, pop them in the mouth! Pop them in the mouth! And I just wanted to, like, look down at the, like, coaches below me and be like, hey, they're going to try to pop your guys in the mouth. I don't know if you knew that or not. Like, just screaming. And every time a kid had to, like, come off the field, like, they're doing a switch, right? Mm-hmm. And so the switch gets set up with the coach sitting on the sideline, and he'll be like, oh, there was a McFarland. There was, like, Seth MacFarlane, but his name was just McFarland. I don't know his first name. And so he kept yelling. He's like, McFarland, get over here. And, like, the kid, like, is walking there. Like, he looks scared. I can't see his face because of the helmet, but, like, you can just tell by his walk. He's not, like, super eager to get over there.
Yeah, of course.
So he's, like, walking, and the coach is like, run! And the kid, like, does a light jog. and then the kid finally gets there, and he's like, okay, go in there and check in for Johnson. And, like, you know, he kind of, like, light jogs out on the field, and he, like, looks at Johnson and, like, does that. And then Johnson, like, sprints, dude. Like, all the kids coming out of the game, full-on sprint, like the coaches want them to. But anytime anything else is happening, there is no running. Like, they got to move downfield, or they got to check into the game. All the kids are, like, mopey and walking. And the second it's, like, time to come out of the game, they're like, yeah! Like, I can't wait. Like, I don't have to play anymore.
That's terrible.
It is pretty sad. And there was, apparently, this is what happened. So there was this kid, it was the 3rd game I had done, and these coaches were the loudest and the craziest compared to the other 2 games. And apparently the coach had looked at one of the kids and was like, check into the game. And the kid was like, nah, I'm good. And the coach was like, you don't want to play? You want to play? Go sit on the bench then. Get out of here. Get out of my face. And they were like, one of the other coaches was like, whatever. He's like, he don't want to play. He's fucking, you know, he's like doing everything he can, like, not to cuss. He's like saying, like, you know, good Lord, you know, he's like doing everything he can not to cuss, like just yelling at this kid for not wanting to play. And I guess the kid that he picked to replace the kid that didn't want to play also said, nah, I'm good. He's like, I got 2 Giants that don't want to play. Their team name's the Giants. 2 Giants that don't want to play. Get out of here. Then go sit on the bench. And they go sit down, and they're both crying. And like 2 seconds later, another coach walks up to him and goes, hey, man, what's going on? What's going on? You want to play? Coach tells you to play. You play, right? You want to play football? I mean, what are we here for? And then he's like, stop crying. Stop crying. Stop crying. And then, like, the kids go back to the sideline. I was just like, that was so intense. And, like, nothing happened. And then, like, if they ever did a good play, like, they'd come back and be like, man, I'm really proud of you. And it's like, you just cussed out this kid, like, 20... There was an Indian kid.
Really?
You know what I mean? He was... I'm trying to say this non-offensively, but basically... like, he was a nice kid. His dad seemed nice. I'll just go with Indian. Eastern Asia. He was basically brown. And I've never seen them play football.
Yeah.
You know, it's very interesting. And so this kid, I think he was like a defensive end because he was bigger. And anytime they would bust off a big run play, the other team, they would blame it on him. His name was Yusuf. They yelled his name all day. They're like, fucking Yusuf, he's going in tight and they're going wide and he's just let them go. Yusuf! And then, like, Yusuf would get a tackle, and they'd be like, yes, Yusuf, you're the best! And then, like, everybody's patting him on the back. He's, like, the hero. And then the next drive, he's the worst player out there. Like, just every time, dude. It was so annoying. I felt so bad for him. And his dad is, like, the water guy. Like, he's one of the water parents. So he's, like, in the action. He can hear all of this. But it was
wild,
whatever.
dude.
Yeah, I don't know. But basically, just I thought Katy youth football was really wild. And once again, dude, there is never a shortage of hot moms. Like, it is so insane,
Part
dude.
of the job.
I got to figure. Dude, I love this job. I got to figure out which moms are single because there are so many good ones.
Well, I'm glad we got around to that.
Yeah, I'm really mad I can't find that fantasy team though because it was like, you know, like Kobe and Jordan on different teams and who Allen Iverson and Magic Johnson were at point guards and just Tracy McGrady and somebody else and I don't know, dude. I just can't remember. And it's really making me mad. Also, I did go bowling the other day, and I saw this big, like, 23-year-old bowling with, like, three... I've been to Copperfield twice now, and every time I go, there's, like, a ton of, like, hot high school chicks. So I guess bowling's cool now, or kind of.
You missed the boat.
It's trendy. I don't know. Yeah, definitely missed the boat there, because I'm, like, going, and I'm like, dude, I've got to get out of here, because, like, I don't want to check out high school chicks. I feel like a pedophile.
Yeah.
But, like, all of them are there at the bowling alley.
You sure they're in high school?
They have to be.
Oh, okay.
Just because... You can just tell.
Okay.
Well, because the Copperfield is pretty involved in high school bowling, and so...
Varsity?
Yeah, no doubt, freshman year. So... And they all got their butts hanging out of their shorts, and there was, like, this big, ugly dude bowling with, like, three of them. And they're all hot, and he looks so stupid. And I literally, like, me and Nick... They're bowling next to us, so me and Nick are just like... Pfft. And at the same time, he goes gay, and I go retarded. And we said it at the same time. At the exact same time, just because we're like, there's no way this dude's with. Oh, sorry, Nick said special, I said gay. Either way.
Oh, man.
But yeah, it was so perfect. We both started dying laughing, too. Too good. Oh, man. And then, yeah, I think that's pretty much all I had. Oh, and then the gym. So many hot chicks at the gym. Not a ton, but there's a few. And, like, me and Nick will be working out, and he'd be like, yeah, like, check out that chick, and yada, yada. And I'm like, yeah, dude, like, nice. He's like, go talk to her. I'm like, what am I going to say? He goes, dude, just say whatever. I'll be like, well, she's doing bench press. Should I, like, offer her a spot because I'm way stronger than her? And, like, he's like, yeah, do that. Like, say that.
Yeah, do that verbatim. Like,
yeah.
Just say that out loud.
Yeah. Hey, I'm stronger. You need a spot? Like, what's up?
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow, what a guy. So, yeah, I think that's everything sports related that I have.